Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of the selection, how have you been doing? I'm fine. Check the box if you like me. Just kidding. Today we have, delivered by the drop-off ferry, as per usual, a simple thing that goes looked over quite a bit, and that is routing options. Routing options are amazing. So what you need is simple solutions to a simple problem. A lot of times people do way too much to turn one corner, and it's not necessary. A lot of times what you see when people have routing options is you see them backloading a bunch of gear. So you have, let's say you have something that's going to go through a headphone amp, and then it's going to go out of the bypass of the headphone amp into something else, and then you end up preamping a bunch of things sometimes. So you end up with this interesting melange of cables and this Gordian knot of splitters and all of these things. My name is Jim, and I'm a splitter addict. Jim. So trust me when I say it is a thing that can and will happen to you, and you will be swallowed up by the giant spaghetti monster that is all of the Y cables that you have been able to assemble within your power and radius of your home. And now that we don't have, Radio Shacks anymore within reach of us, we have to, yes, I'm old, I don't care. We have to decide about a smarter path to journey on for this. And that is where little companies come up that make a big difference. And in this case, I'm putting my foot in my mouth possibly, but I don't think that I am. I'm going to tell you about a little bitty company with 3 names for no reason. And if it's not the exact same company, this stuff is definitely made all in the same Chinese factory, and the savings is passed on to you. So we're talking about Douk Audio, Knob Sound, and Little Bear. Those are the 3 companies: Douk Audio, Knob Sound, and Little Bear. And what they all tend to do is very small, but somehow quite high quality, low price, little bits and bobs, little headphone amps and little, speaker amps and little things like that are usually the size of my fist, which is giant, but, not most people's. So less than a brick, you get yourself a lot of return on investment, usually for these things. They do things with tubes, solid state. There's a lot of little options. And I'm sure they have several websites for no particular reason. But when you start to see the things, and you start to see the things that come out, one of the things that was fascinating to me is how transparent these little connectors were. So you're gonna have, let's say you're playing with headphones, and you have digital analog converters, known as DACs. You have routers, you have a preamp, you have all of these things. Then you can plug into and give yourself several options. Or let's say you just wanted to compare 2 DACs. A, B, or 3 DACs, A, B, C, your DACs, and then say, okay, this is the sound quality that I'm getting from this thing through this amp. This is the sound quality I'm getting from this DAC to this amp, and work your stuff out. And you can trade those options with amps and DACs, and obviously do a lot of, the flourish. So I'm going to do this is going to be a quick unboxing and just a demonstration of the pathways that you could take. It's something that for the new year, you might want to, restock your studio with new ideas and save yourself some space. That's the other thing that will definitely do for you, is realign your wall or your alcove or whatever, especially if you're in one of them little tiny high density city apartments in London or New York, and you don't want to have the rest of your world covered in every single piece of audio equipment that you could possibly have. Like me, I like that, but I like to sleep in my cables. I like to wake up with the feeling of them choking me. It's just amazing. It's my kink. It's my personal thing. And look at that, right away. This one is XLR only, 3 in, 3 out, and then you can make your routing choices as you would like. But there's a little handy guide with suggestions for you. This says you could have a decoder, a DVD, a CD player, an amplifier, a preamp, or a mixer. Ooh, and they decide where they go in and out. So hey, there you go. And you can make the little selections. There's A, B, C, and 8, 1, 2, 3. So you don't get too confused with your numbers and your letters. If you can, So I can't help you with that part. That's you got to get your kindergarten mistress and a whip. And yes, I'm a big man, but this is like I'm holding this on my pinky. This way. I mean, it's look at that. Look at that. Very simple. It's not. Do not complicate stuff like this. It has air holes for aerodynamics in case you have to race with it. The racing version, it'll go through the air. I'm sure. I'll make sure to wear out all the clicks before I get upstairs. And on the backs, what do we have? Holes. Holes and pulls. That's it. It's not that complicated. The only point here is to be quiet and to transmit the sound. The sticker that it's using has been steamed. I don't care. I really don't. It's metal. It's hard. I don't think it's going to break. So, all XLR version. This, we have a nice tight black box. You like that. Well packed and to be shipped. Really, dude? You got one job, Cuddy. One job. Mr. Cuddy trying to take the holidays off. We have a giant fan / warranty card. And then, okay, so we're not confused. Just so you understand, I get a thing that says One Little Bear with a box that says Knob Sound and Douk Audio. So they've either bought each other up or what have you, but it is one company. I was not losing my marbles. I'm just like, all this stuff looks the same. It must be the same. It seems to be made from the same factory, and my suspicions are at least somewhat founded. Take the little baggies. I have too much stuff that comes in little baggies. You know what I mean. Actually, I don't have enough stuff that comes in little baggies. If you want to send me stuff in little baggies, you feel free. You know. Okay, so we're gonna put the warranty back here. QC pass. No one signed it. I don't believe it. One inspected by number 13. Heard that one retirement though. Okay, so yay. And again, simple metal piece, simple thin metal. Look at that. Look how shiny. And even here it says One Little Bear, which I don't understand the whole One Little Bear thing, but I'm sure some Chi-Fi fan in the comments can help me out and explain why it's called that, or why is it not a grizzly bear? Is it a koala bear? Like, how little are we talking? I don't know how small bears get, to be honest with you. I tend to think that they're pretty big. I mean, I guess a bear cub could be that, like 300 pounds or something, but that's still pretty big. So here we have the option of an RCA channel, both in and out. So because a lot of components, especially things like tube amps, will never come balanced, and usually XLRs are somehow relegated to only balanced appliances. But also typically when you're dealing with an RCA feed, it's probably going to be 1.78 or 2 amps, and then the higher volts, not amps. Don't get that confused. And then the higher XLR feeds are going to be 4 volts or above. So that's not a hard and fast rule either. So we'll look for gain switches and things like that. Then you'll get more voltage out of a thing. But it's a pretty good thing to know. You know what I mean? And as you can feed things into preamps or use certain amps as preamps, they can also add voltage, and sometimes very clean voltage, to another thing. So the question is, do you want to be chaining a certain thing, and then putting it into the selector? You want to put it in selectors cleanly? So my design choices here would be this is what I would see on my desk. Oh, I could even do 2 of these. Look at that. That'd be magical. So what you would end up with is a routing system, so I could have a certain tier here and then another tier here. I could do 3 DACs here, 3 amps here, the soundstage, thing, something feeding into it, so you have chain options. I could actually add a 3rd tier, you know what I mean, and then have preamp / soundstage / coloration devices, DACs, amps, and then I can have literally a combination of any of 9 devices where I can chess master route through the, okay, do I like this color with this one? Do I like the tubes with the solid state with the whatever? And also you can narrow down what your personal preferences are. Do you like something warmer? Do you like something cooler? Are you looking for something more analytical? Are you looking for something more tubey? Are you looking for something more liquid? Are the things too warm for you? Are they getting muddy when you add, warm plus warm plus warm? Did you get to the dark place where you're like, I am Lord Vader? So you can't do all that. So the question is, what are your options? And this is a very quick way for sub $100 to find your personal preferences and then find out how you're going to refine your sound. If you're having a home studio, that's going to go in the other direction. So you're going to be able to try to do different plugins, maybe different routing options from instruments or anything like that. Somebody's loadout could go directly into this box. So you can be doing, okay, I'm doing all this other stuff. Now I need a guitar solo, guitar guy stuff, go. There's a lot of people who are multi-instrumentalists, and this works very well if you have a small number of imports into your DAW, into your home studio, in a box, which is typically somebody's computer or their laptop. So plenty of options. You want to get yourself some of this stuff because you can definitely take yourself out of the equation and make your ears, because audio memory is not very long. So being able to immediately A and B things, that's the real key here. And then once you've decided on your particular personal favorite sound profile, then you'll be one step closer to making some great art.